VR. Translation, I'm expert rank on Beast Saber. Many Metal Gear fans at the time discussed on the game's decision to bin off Solid Snake in favour of Rookie Raiden, who would go on to become a significant part of the series' mythos, but at this early juncture is not really equipped for much of the task at hand.
Get those C4s neutralized now. Colonel, I'm not qualified for bomb disposal.
You've probably done it in VR though, right?
You haven't had bomb disposal training per se in VR.
For God's sake, Raiden, even we've done bomb disposal in VR.
You told me I was a big shit. I gotta go this way.
51 seconds to spare. We are the most amazing bomb defusers of all time.
Put us in, Colonel, we're ready.
A dark and stormy night. Picking up his sword and shield, an adventurer steps out into the rain with only one goal in mind: rescuing Princess Zelda and thereby saving the Kingdom of Hyrule. If you think that adventurer is Link from The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, you're sorely mistaken. Because when Link wakes up after being sent a psychic message from Zelda saying she's in the castle dungeon, he finds his uncle already dressed and ready to hit the road. Take forever to leave the house. Link's uncle is well equipped to go searching for a lost princess. He's a former knight of the royal family and knows how to wield a sword. Appropriately, he tells Link to remain indoors before heading off to help Zelda. But Link only follows that advice for the 4 or 5 seconds it takes to loot Uncle's lamp, then sneak out of the house while it's still dark. Honestly, these teens. It seems like Uncle probably has this rescue thing sorted, but later, having snuck into the castle, you find your heroic guardian dying up against a wall. So now the job of saving a princess and restoring peace to Hyrule falls to this boy, I guess? Anyway, Uncle gives you his sword and shield. Then there's just time to say a few words over his corpse that, oh no, we're leaving. Honestly, these teens.
Did you see what caused the destruction? Battle. Thor. And this woman with red hair. They tore through the town. Rage between them was terrifying. Thor was enraged. I'm not surprised. No. The warrior. She was furious and felt like it.
2018 God of War kicks off with you chopping down trees to cremate your wife, only for a Nordic god to knock on your door, forcing you on an arduous quest to go kill him and a bunch of his mates with an axe. Bit stressful, TBH. Then, by the end of the sequel, God of War,
I chose a female model
your wife,
and changed
Faye,
the face
didn't
to
just
male.
used to wield
That's
the
the no
axe
tie.
herself,
You change
but
the
also
clothes.
she had a great big epic fight with Thor prior to settling
Let's
down.
see.
Something that she didn't tell Kratos,
Just
but everyone else didn't know about.
No, just based off. I choose the head, keep the hair the same, but change the face to this.
As you journey through
This
the
is
realms,
what it
you'll
had.
be visited by visions
I switched to
of Fae
this.
giving you sage advice before
So now you
burning the wand.
Yeah.
Is running out of my life.
Poses.
There's much to do. But you're constantly finding out about the heroic past deeds of your wife, whether that be finding a massive great frozen lightning bolt from her epic battle with Thor, or the restless spirits you find who share their stories.
Now here are the cars you could choose: the Dodger, the Nissan K, Civic K. But I chose the Lambo.
It was out of control. I saw her fury with every swing of her axe.
You know, I think we've all had days like that, Faye. See, Faye was a giant, the last guardian of Jotunheim, and not a huge fan of the Norse gods, who tried to wipe the giants out in all of the 9 realms. So she and her allies did their best to save the giants and destroy the gods while she was alive. It's your axe.
Let me drive it over. Yeah, okay.
Tomorrow.
Go easy, though.
But when Faye's powers of precognition revealed to her that she wouldn't succeed before she passed away, before the events of God of War even started, she secretly passed the baton, or more correctly, Leviathan Axe, onto you, Kratos, the angry dude who had wandered in cluelessly from a whole other mythology.
I suppose she figured that was the best chance for the giants to live on. And now, I suppose, that's up to you.
He may not be as well versed in Norse mythology as, say, A for effort. A for
a way that you can go the extra mile supporting the video work that we do here on YouTube.com, website for videos. That's not the tagline of YouTube, but I think it should be. Google, call me. We've got taglines out the wazoo over here. Hey, if you want to go the optional extra mile in supporting the video work that we do on YouTube.com, website for videos. Sorry, I just got back from New York Comic Con. I'm very jet lagged. Then you can go to patreon.com/OXSC and join the OX Supporters Club, where you get access to a cool Discord where you can ask us questions like, how many takes did it take to get you that Alex Mason bit? The answer is a lot. Maybe ask me a different question, but give you the answer to that one. Also, there's some videos on screen now. Go watch them. And I'll just link to this jetpack. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Gonna smell like victory when we cross that finish line. That's some great angle.
Not all boss fights are created equal. Some are magnificent, furious contests of strength against a seemingly impossible foe. And then some are Mysterio from Spider-Man 2. Really? Bragging on Mysterio again? Yeah. Roll clip. Whoa! That was sick, dude! But then there's the third kind of boss fight, the one that lives in your memory not because it was too hard or too easy, but whose defining quality is that it was just totally, unrelentingly annoying. An irritating, frustrating boss fight that left you feeling as empty and broken as the helmet of stupid Spider-Man villain Mysterio. Okay, seriously, did Mysterio, wrong us in some way? It doesn't matter. Look, we've all had boss fights we've hated, and the Outside Xbox and Outside Extra teams are no different. Here are our picks of bosses so annoying, we will curse them with our dying breath. No spoilers for the following games. These guys are right here.
Final Fantasy VII Remake appeared, and as someone who had never played the original game, I thought, let's jump in on this. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan as well. I know Nomura had done I did a little bit of work on this one. I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. A lot of the reviews are like, it's amazing, they've done really well. The rest of the game, I really enjoyed kind of fast-paced nature of the combat compared to previous Final Fantasies that I'd played. I'm not huge on turn-based battle systems, and for most of it, I kind of liked it, but I quickly realised that I didn't like it when I got to the final boss. I kind of early doors thought, this is a little bit relentless. The combat doesn't give you any breathing room, really. You're organising your team. You're mainly playing as Cloud, but you can also switch between the other characters on your team. There's a lot of... I'm sorry, Tifa with the fist, where she really goes at it. It's great. Okay, right.
I love Cloud so much.
So he's got a big sword, yeah.
Go quicker if you are Cloud.
Yeah. Well, I try to change it up, and it's also useful for gameplay if we need it for lists and such, so it's not just Cloud. It really culminated for me realising how much I kind of did gel with the combat. Sorry everyone who liked it. It was when I got to the final boss. So I got through, I was in chapter 18, and then you've got this Whisper Harbinger or Harbinger. I don't know exactly how you're supposed to say it. Because Nomura wanted to change the story, big spoilers for the end of the game, Aerith doesn't die, and so this creature comes in to try and fix the timeline, okay? This is where the Kingdom Hearts comes in, everyone.
Buckle up. We said at the beginning, Nora had a little bit of influence.
Nora was like, yes, get in there.
I can't.
The final boss is Sephiroth, or as final, But I never got to Sephiroth because I was fighting this Whisper Harbinger of
whatever. And the problem with this battle is it's a multi-stage thing. So you're not really kind of fighting the monster directly for the majority of this fight. You're fighting like little tiny versions of itself that it sends at you.
Martin Scorsese's Casino is his 1995 gangster film starring Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Frank Vincent. The Las Vegas Mob is the second gangster film in 5 years from Scorsese, who of course made the classic Goodfellas only 5 years earlier, also with De Niro, Pesci, and Vincent. Goodfellas is considered one of the greatest, if not the greatest, crime film ever made. However, the response to Casino upon its release was far more mixed, with many calling it a noisy, bloated rehash of Goodfellas. Others considered it a masterpiece, and after the movie landed on home video platforms such as video cassette tapes and reruns on television, Casino slowly developed a reputation, and now is considered a stone-cold Scorsese crime classic in its own right. Personally, I think the film is absolutely brilliant, one of my favorite Scorsese movies and one of my favorite crime films in general. And I think it says more about Scorsese's incredible body of work.
Right.
This film, which would be considered other film directors' magnum opus, is simply as another Scorsese gangster movie.
There was no money involved. It was just, to teach you how to do things.
As Scorsese's version of Paradise Lost.
Sorry.
As I detailed in a previous video. Anyway, as those who have already seen the film will know, the story concerns two friends, Sam Ace Watson and who are sent by the mob to Las Vegas.
This is racing.
Money.
RPGs, action adventures, shooting,
horror.
You don't know none of those.
Vegas gets to everyone. There's even a toxic.
Well, actually, you know about shooting more than
duo and Ace's wife. And after
and sometimes horror.
2.5-hour-ish thrill run,
and sometimes action adventure.
The bosses send in hitmen to take out
Batman. You know everything, right?
After so much heat comes down on the Vegas mob that even the bosses, safe back in Chicago, were facing time in prison. By this point, Nicky has become the boss of Vegas, running the city with an iron fist, punching and snorting his way to the top, irritating the likes of Ace with the amount of negative attention and heat from the cops and media he brings along with him. Beside Nicky is his right-hand man, Frank Marino, Nicky's main muscle, a sharply dressed, stern, strong, silent type-looking character. Frank is hardly ever the center of attention in the film, but it is a notable role. In fact, seeing Joe Pesci and Frank Vincent
That nigga been still off it. Then I had a couple of interviews. Yeah, bitch, I tell you to watch the bitch. Yeah, you know. You gotta with the Rocky
Joe Pesci. He and his crew beat Joe Pesci almost to death with a bunch of bats. Yep, though he figured himself untouchable, even eventually wanting to come after the bosses, the guys at the top eventually have had enough of Nicky, and the order comes through for a hole to be dug for him in the desert. And of all the people to set up Nicky and beat him and his brother Dominic, burying them alive, is Frank Marino, Nicky's own right-hand man. It symbolizes the treacherous nature of mob life, that there are no friends in this world, that after all these years, the man who was by your side, who had your back, who was in on your closest secrets, is the one who, without seemingly an ounce of remorse, mercilessly beats you and your brother to death. Now, of course, this isn't Frank going rogue. He isn't doing this of his own accord. We can assume that behind Nicky's back, Frank was sent instructions by the bosses, most likely by the head boss, Remo Gaggi himself, that Nicky needed to be taken out. And being a loyal soldier of the mob, Frankie has to do what he's told by the higher-ups. In fact, this mirrors the main plot of Scorsese's later gangster film, The Irishman, where another character called Frank is given the task of killing someone close to him. But the way he beats Dominic and Nicky is so vicious, it's arguably the most violent and disturbing scene in Scorsese's entire filmography. And with Ace telling us that the bosses were making an example of them by having them buried alive, we can assume that Frank was instructed to make the hit as painful as possible, most likely because of Nicky messing things up in Vegas and also bringing heat on the bosses. So, let's momentarily explore this minor character, take a look at Frank, and give him his own introspection, his own little The Irishman movie. Now, I say minor character, but funnily enough,
Frankie is the only character in the film, aside from Ace and Nicky, who narrates in the movie via voiceover. It's a pivotal scene for Frank, as things are getting hot in Vegas, things are getting unruly and violent, the packages being sent home are getting smaller and smaller. As Ace tells us, it got to a point when Frankie walked into the room with the bosses. He didn't know whether he was going to be kissed or killed. When Remo pops the question, asking Frankie if Nicky has been sleeping with Ace's wife, which is considered a massive no-no, the movie pauses. And Frankie tells us that if he told the truth, Nicky, Ace, and Ginger could have all been whacked. And by lying, he puts himself in it, risking his own life. And this really is the crux of the issue, I feel. The longer the film goes on, the more crazy Nicky becomes, and thus the more danger Frank's own life is in. At one point, Nicky even tells Frankie that he's fucked up big time by getting involved with Ginger. Frankie is loyal enough to Nicky that he tells him that Remo was asking about him and Ace's wife, but it surely must have dawned on Frank, just as it did for Ace, just as it did for us as the viewer, that things have gone too far. And in particular, Frank's own life is in danger. Nicky might do something mental which gets Frank sent to jail, gets him killed on the job, gets him whacked by the bosses, who knows? In fact, it's possible that the bosses actually found out about Nicky and Ginger, and Remo confronted Frankie for lying to him and told him that he had to kill Nicky as punishment and retribution for lying, and as a solution to the Vegas problem. Otherwise, he would be killed along with him. Having to do the deed himself was the clemency for lying in the first place. In one of Nicky's more personal moments, he confides in Frankie that he's in a bad spot, head in hand, sitting at the bottom of the stairs, Frankie leaning over him. Not exactly a great image of a mob boss. In fact, there might be something symbolic with Frankie standing while Nicky is sitting, as if this is where the dynamic changes. And Frankie realizes that for his own sake, something needs to be done, something needs to change, and he knows that no matter what, things won't end well for Nicky, and he can either be there in the hole with him or turn against him. In fact, maybe it wasn't a case of the bosses approaching Frankie, but he approaching them. Maybe he came clean to Remo, told him he had lied to him earlier, or lied again and said he just found out that Nicky did indeed sleep with Ginger, and things are bad. He needs to look out for himself by this point, and probably figured the way to get himself out of this hole is to cut Nicky loose. Maybe there might even be something in it for Frankie for Nicky not to be in the picture anymore. Maybe he could get upped, promoted to a higher position. The way I always saw it, there was an element of frustration in Frank, which manifested during the desert beatdown. The reason why he was so angry and ferociously beating the brothers was because he was angry with how Nicky messed everything up, how he put Frankie in danger and had him having to lie to Remo. We've all been in a situation, whether at school as kids or your parents or whatever, where you have to cover for someone, and in doing so you risk getting in trouble yourself, which only makes you angry at the person you're covering for. By the time of the desert scene, Frankie is on the same page as the bosses, shouting no more as he...
Hello? Hello?
Who that?
Same people.
Victims. Things have just gone too far, and a reset is needed. The mob is full of sociopaths, so maybe Frank didn't have any issues with turning on Nicky, but if he did, another reason for such ferociousness in the beatdown would be because in order to pump himself up and get into the correct mindset of killing someone so close to him, he would have to put all of his personal feelings for Nicky to a side, go to town.
We'll just find something when you get there. Maybe roast the steak over there.
She's joking, she's joking. You're joking, right, guys?
Sure, totally.
First minute is racers. You ready?
Just be cool, right? We gotta look like we know what we're doing. There'll be some big players that say they can hang with us if we look basic.
Alright. I mean, good enough, right?
Our ride has to match our ambition. It needs to look the part. Racing ain't just about winning.
Just hope we don't disappoint.
Just hang with your girl. I know what's up.
You could turn on him at any moment. For what it's worth, Frank Marino is based on a real-life former gangster, Frank Colota, who, funnily enough, is also in Casino in the role of the hitman. But there isn't much we can take from the real-life mobster, as Colota has said. He wasn't involved in killing Tony Spilotro, the real-life Nicky Santora. And when he told Scorsese this, Colota said that Scorsese replied, "The only reason why we're putting you through that is because if you don't tell me that it's your best friend that is going to be able to bring you to your death, not your enemy." So it's quite similar to what Henry Hill says in Goodfellas, where he says, "See, your murderers come with smiles. They come as your friend, the people who've cared for you all your life. And they always seem to come at a time that you're at your weakest and most in need of their help." It's interesting that Scorsese would take this concept of the best friend taking out his partner and make an entire film about it, more than 20 years later, with The Irishman, again with De Niro and Pesci, where in this case it's Joe Pesci's character who gives the order. So what do you think about Frank Marino? He's quite an interesting character, isn't he, when you think about it? What do you think motivated him to betray Nicky? And why do you think he carried out the beating so mercilessly? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.
In the sprawling urban jungle of 1960s Chicago, a flamboyant and barbarous figure emerged from the depths of the city's underworld. He was known nationwide for his cruel and capricious behavior, with a mere mention of his name being enough to strike fear into the hearts of both friend and foe alike. His name was Anthony Spilotro, and despite the fact that he stood at just 5'2", he built himself a terrifying reputation as a cold-blooded killer, which led to him being personally entrusted by his bosses in the Chicago outfit to oversee their lucrative operations in Las Vegas and to ensure that everyone was kept in line. But Tony had far larger aspirations, and in the end his hubris and overwhelming need to always be the center of attention would lead to his shocking downfall and ultimately endanger everything the mob had built in Vegas. Tony was born on May 19th, 1938 in the south side of Chicago. He grew up in a small two-story house in an Italian neighborhood where he shared a single bedroom with his 5 brothers. His father, Pasquale Spilotro, owned and operated Patsy's Restaurant, a small deli that was famous throughout.
I know I should be helping you, Matt, but this is so cute. Do you have front row seats? Yeah.
You gonna help me kick the lesson?
Daddy's helper girl. I know I should be helping you, Matt, but this is so cute. Do you have front row seats?
That meetup felt weird.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have style.
Daddy's helper girl.
Please.
I know I should be helping you, Matt, but this is so cute.
Talking about what?
Do you have front row seats?
Looking cool. Usual.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
when I'm running these meetups, they'll be epic.
Daddy's helper girl.
I'm not gonna be
I know I should be helping you, Matt, but this is so cute.
feel me?
Do you have front row seats?
Finally get some style.
I always help.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Daddy's helper girl.
Invisible Girl's face has been shown 8 times now. After she snitched on the UA trader, Oyama shot a laser at Deku. Her quirk reflects light, so when she caught it, we caught a glimpse at her face. Then, Invisible Girl was in her birthday suit of a costume for a very controversial color spread. Next, she was wearing her uniform for Horikoshi's apology statement. Later, she was a pirate along with Kirishima. And here's the latest sketch of her. She celebrated My Hero Academia's 9-year anniversary with the rest of Class 1A. She teamed up with Oyama during the final war. When he couldn't aim, she guided his laser and hit the villain with it. This time, her whole body was shown. It was super embarrassing. Invisible Girl's face has been...
Yeah.
Spies tapping my sentry. Our frogs! Try sapping my engineer. Try sapping my bum. You got love.
Cowgirl was always a little off. Nobody knew about her shrine to Arnold until after high school. But by then, it was too late. Hey, Arnold. Now.
These adopted twins are about to meet their newly adopted biological baby sis. Nathan and Sheena tried to have a baby for 15 years. But after 9 miscarriages and 3 failed IVF attempts, they decided to adopt 2 beautiful twin sisters. And later on, when they had the chance to adopt another little one, they knew they wanted to raise all 3 sisters together. And twins Sadie and Noah had no idea little Eden was coming home.
Your friend sent money into my account? Okay. Your friend. Let me check. $16, yeah, he said. I just had to check. I was just, I just had to check things first.
And twins Sadie and Noah had no idea little Eden was coming home. What is that? What is it? Is that These adopted twins are about to meet their newly adopted biological baby sis. Nathan and Sheena tried to have a baby for 15 years. But after 9 miscarriages and 3 failed IVF attempts, they decided to adopt 2 beautiful twin sisters. And later on, when they had the chance to adopt another little one, they knew they wanted to raise all 3 sisters together. And twins Sadie and Noah had no idea little Eden was coming home. What is that? What is it? These adopted twins are about to meet their newly adopted biological baby sis. Nathan and Sheena tried to have a baby for 15 years. But after 9 miscarriages and 3 failed IVF attempts, they decided to adopt 2 beautiful twin sisters.
Every event, right? We ain't got the money for the big leagues yet.
Oh, hey, Pete. We need to save Nebula, Mantis, and Drac, and we need your help. You almost have to admire their fly. Howdy there, you freaking freak.
doesn't fly them fly.
Howdy there, you freaking freak.
I mean, it sucks to be a country where former presidents get prosecuted, because that's a lousy thing about countries in which that's a regular dynamic, in which those prosecutions are politically motivated and they're junk prosecutions, but they're used for political purposes. Trump has made that case both in the courtroom and outside the courtroom, and I've always felt like it's his strongest point. Obviously, the solution to that as a country is don't elect freaking criminals to be presidents. But you also got the judges today in the D.C. Circuit arguing against it and saying, listen, we have ways in our system of dealing with meritless and harassing prosecution. We have systems within our judiciary that prevent that. And so the idea that once you're prosecuted for crimes, you're going to then prosecute and everybody's going to prosecute people for nothing from here on out. No, the judiciary is here to make sure that doesn't happen, and we know that it won't. I mean, it sucks to be a country where former presidents get prosecuted, because that's a lousy thing about countries in which that's a regular dynamic, in which those prosecutions are politically motivated and they're junk prosecutions, but they're used for political purposes. Trump has made that case both in the courtroom and outside the courtroom, and I've always felt like it's his strongest point. Obviously, the solution to that as a country is don't elect freaking criminals to be presidents. But you also got the judges today in the D.C. Circuit arguing against it and saying, listen, we have ways in our system of dealing with meritless and harassing prosecution. We have systems within our judiciary that prevent that. And so the idea that once you're prosecuted for crimes, you're going to then prosecute and everybody's going to prosecute people for nothing from here on out. No, the judiciary is here to make sure that doesn't happen, and we know that it won't. I mean, it sucks to be a country where former presidents get prosecuted, because that's a lousy thing about countries in which that's a regular dynamic, in which those prosecutions are politically motivated and they're junk prosecutions, but they're used for political purposes. Trump has made that case both in the courtroom and outside the courtroom, and I've always felt like it's his strong.
What have I done? What have I done?
That's what I'm talking about.
Right down. He does everything by the book.
All right, I feel good. That's what I'm talking about.
What are you gonna do?
Pour all the big stadiums, sell out Greg's, get that Greg's by my entourage. What you got your eyes on?
It's weird, you know, working with the lab and seeing what my dad does. Got me thinking maybe I can make something for myself here too.
You did.
That's what I'm talking about.
Something more than this car.
I'm just happy we're doing what we're doing. I like working with the girls.
Taking stuff out, tightening some screws, putting stuff together.
Pizza nights on the sofa. That smile past me. Like they'll try to convince me.
I'm not even winded. I'm running circles around you. All right, I feel good. All right, I feel good. I'm not even winded. I'm running circles around you.
I'm gonna have to restart because I crashed at the end, near the end. No,
One freaking touchable.
no,
First time he did it was
no, just
doing the practice run. So he really made it.
yeah, but this time it was by. It was the.
Ah, crap.
Idiots don't give a damn about themselves or each other. circles around you.
We got nothing to lose. And if you're working and bugging, then we got nothing to prove. So you gotta mind your own.
Hey, Whip!
Shit. Just make sure I don't crash into that gate. Go to the right gate and stay center.
All right, feel good. Hey, Knucklehead, I'm talking to you, Bonk. Hey, is somebody keeping track of my head? Batted in, boy! Who wants some of this? Bonk! Bonk! Hey, is somebody keeping track of my head? Batted in, boy!
Hello? Hello? No.
Who's that? Who's that? What they was talking about?
Okay. I don't know who it is. I know.
What are you talking about?
Are you there? Hold on, let me see who this is. You know, 1-331-808-992-7. Okay.
You could, all you have to do is touch the button and touch the number and you see the ever called before you ever talked to them before.
Hold on a second, let me try again.
You have people text message you. You don't even read the text messages for real. I realize that.
Oh, I do. Now I do. I'm not playing my game.
Smart work. You good. A little bit for me. I'll make sure you know what's again.
Because of the phone call, basically made me mess up my racing. I want to get that 12,000. If I didn't tap that car, I would not. Hey bro, I won 12 grand. I won 12 grand.
Suspect just pulled a Houdini at Douglas Park. We're gonna have to terminate this pursuit, dispatch. Suspect got away.
Just got a text from my guy.
Is she again?
He's left the keys for those new client cars he wants me to work on. Just wait. He's gonna lose his shit when he sees what I can do. Once you're ready to head back to the garage, I'll get started.
Mayor Morgan Stevenson is ready to help rebuild Lakeshore.
Because a city is only as strong as its foundation.
Morgan Stevenson is that foundation. Delivered by Riverside Construction, making Lakeshore great again, one corporate headquarters at a time. Goody. What's up for owners? Let's take a look at it.
Ooh, 17,000.
I pulled an all-nighter on those client cars. Looking good, right?
Not bad at all. But you need to remove the filter to make sure you put the plug back properly. Come on now.
No, I don't.
You know I'd be happier if you did it like that.
I had like 3 cars to do. This way was faster.
Okay, well, let's see what the client says. They're expecting it back today. Now, hey,
Oh, damn. I don't have enough.
you look tired.
That's all you can say to me, girl. What you need? Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna take a walk and clean my head.
Oh, shit. Neat. Done. Giving yourself the middle finger.
Pulled an all-nighter on those client cars. Looking good, right?
Not bad at all. But you need to remove
Gotta go with this. Nah. This. No.
You know I'd be happier if you did it by the book.
I had like 3 cars to do. This way was faster.
Okay, well, let's see what the client says. They're expecting it back today. Now, hey, don't you guys go You look tired.
That's all you can say to me, girl. What you need? Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna take a walk and clean my head.
Here, cupcake.
Man. I'm about to take a piss. Okay.
good?
Yeah, we're good.
Great. So, what's up?
Can you pick up a buddy of mine? He's got some heat on him and some fast wheels.
You got it. Heading there now.
Yo, what's with your boy right there?
My boy?
Take the filter out? I busted my ass all night while he was watching the Spins lose another game.
Did you volunteer?
Whatever.
Don't take it personal. He appreciates you. You know he does.
So you on his side now?
Yeah, it's not about size. Ardell just likes things done his way. Yes? Yes? Damn.
Simple. She said my boy, but problem is, he's like a father figure. Yeah.
Today we got SCP-513. Hey, Cal, hi, Dr. Bob, of course. Be sure to like and subscribe to his channel. My prediction for this SCP, I feel like it's gonna be a cowbell fight.
Sitting in silence, alone with my
You hit it?
I can still hear you.
And maybe, like, whoever hears it in the vicinity goes into a trance. Either that, or they go into a trance and then they start acting like a cow. Either that, or they become a cow, like that one dial-up dream. Like, they turn into, like, those sheep things. I feel like it's gonna be in a similar vein to that.
Blowing in
Alrighty, well, let's get into
Can I
it.
get a review from you? Because I think it would really
Let's see for sure.
help me out.
Are you always seen in years?
Damn,
Photographers wince because they capture it all in succession with stark flashes. CSI technicians do what they can to pick up the broken pieces. Most at the gate, a rookie doubles over a while his older partner gives sympathetic pat on the back. He can't hide his own discomfort at the things they've seen today.
Jeez.
In the middle of the night, a pair of concerned hikers on the outskirts of town. They were halfway through their nightly walk down an old country road when they heard screaming from a nearby farm. When officers finally made their way down to the farmhouse, it was too late.
I have a prediction. I have another one. What if the cowbell makes cows turn into vicious killers? I'm guessing just because, I mean, why are these people dying otherwise, you know?
Everyone there, dead. Nobody to save. Looks like the old farmer snapped. The whole family was dead. They found his body in the barn. He heads inside to take a look at the carnage. It's a veritable house of horrors. The farmer's wife is dead in the kitchen. His children were both murdered in their beds. The detective can't say he's ever seen a murder in such cold blood.
So detached. For a man with no history of violence to do something so terrible to his loved ones for no reason.
The detective shakes his head and walks upstairs, sliding on rubber gloves to avoid contaminating the scene.
I mean, I know that guy just puked all over, like, the scene of the crime, so I think it's already contaminated.
He goes through his drawings, making fastidious notes about anything suspicious. He's got a keen eye with a source. And he's not a year veteran of the force. He's seen some terrible things. But as he lays his eyes on the bodies of the victims, he can't help but feel a chill tiptoeing down his vertebrae. A diary in the bedside cabinet. He flips through. Early on, it's all mundane. Scattered thoughts for the day at hand, and little to-do lists for the next one. But the last 3 entries contain a marked shift from what came before. The first one reads,
Yo, what's up?
he seemed shook up when he came back from the barn today. He was all quiet about it. He said something like, I heard something I shouldn't have.
Oh, no.
Don't know what that is. I decided not to press. Stressed enough already.
He said the clients
He didn't say much to the kids during dinner.
So he's happy. He wants to
Looking over
celebrate
his shoulder.
together.
Then why didn't you
Freaks me
tell
out,
me?
something terrible.
I put in the work. Now,
Everyone, now that I'm a meth dealer, I'm going to respond violently to outside noises that the rest of you don't
I got a
hear.
call coming through. Later.
Dad, I think that was just a cricket. Then what the hell was that? Did you guys lock the truck? Dad, we don't even have it. What the hell is going on?
I'm starting to worry about him. It's been a few days since whatever he hurt his arm, and he ain't gotten any better. In fact, I think he's getting worse. He won't shower. Something about the bathroom mirror. He just won't go in there. He hasn't been eating. Worst of all, he doesn't sleep. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and see him sitting bolt upright, staring at the bedroom door, not saying a word, not even blinking. The third and final entry reads, "He's like the man I married anymore. There's something wrong with him. It's scaring the kids and it's scaring me." He started bringing his gun to bed every night. Doesn't say, just sits there with it. He never sleeps. When I asked him what's happening, he told me something's coming. But it's okay. He won't let it get us no matter what. I don't understand. I'm gonna take the kid and get you first. Work this out. I'm afraid of what he'll do if he realizes the gun's always loaded. The detective sighs and slides the diary into an evidence baggie. It was, sadly, a tale he'd heard all too many times. Terrible things we can do to the ones we love when we're not ourselves. Though it now seems kind of dry, the mental break snowballing into a massacre.
I mean, if I was a detective, I'd think drugs. Like, he went into the barn, like, grinded, like, I don't know, this kind of sounds like meth or heroin. I've heard, like, coke can make you... I've been watching a lot of Reddit stories, and I've heard, like, the story of this guy who did coke, and, like, he dug out the stitches in his arm that he just, like, broke, and they fixed it, you know, and then he dug them out. I don't know, like, drugs can make you do a lot of weird things, and that's what I feel like this guy, yeah, you know, if we were in the SCP universe, I'd be like, oh man, this guy's, he did something in that bar that he wasn't supposed to, and now he's crazy, you know.
What did the farmer hear in the barn that day? He approaches the farmer's corpse. He's laying in the straw, head ablaze.